Welcome to my YouTube channel. Hey there, coin collectors and treasure hunters. Did you know that a regular 1-cent coin, produced in 1987, could be worth a mind-blowing $137 million? You heard that right, $137 million. Today, we're going to dive deep into the story of this incredibly rare coin, explore its fascinating history, and uncover why it's not just another penny. Stay tuned for this treasure tale you won't believe. Now, before you rush to your pockets or piggy banks, let's take a step back. How could a coin, with a face value of only 1 cent, be worth such an astronomical sum? The answer lies in rarity, errors, and a twist of fate that's enough to make even the most seasoned numismatists do a double take. So, let's unravel this mystery together. First, let's talk about the background of this seemingly ordinary coin. The 1987 1-cent piece, or penny, was minted in the United States, as part of the ongoing production of U.S. currency. But here's the kicker: unlike the silver coins of the past, this penny is made of copper-plated zinc, which is very common. So, why does it hold such potential value? The truth is, most of the 1987 pennies are just like the ones you find in your change. They're not rare, they're not particularly valuable, and they're not even old enough to be considered vintage. So what makes a 1987 penny stand out among millions of others? Well, the answer to this question comes down to one key factor: a mistake during the minting process. That's right. A certain number of pennies from this year were struck with a rare error that makes them worth far more than their mere face value. But before we get into those valuable errors, let's quickly talk about the coin itself and its role in U.S. currency. Since its introduction in 1793, the penny has been one of the longest-serving coins in the history of U.S. currency. Its image has changed over time, from Lady Liberty to the famous Lincoln portrait that has graced the front of the penny for over 100 years. The reverse side has also seen changes, from wheat stalks to the iconic shield design we see today. But in 1987, the penny was still using the Lincoln Memorial on the back, which was in circulation from 1959 until 2008. That's right, we're talking about a well-established coin, one that was regularly produced by the U.S. Mint. However, despite its regular production, the 1987 penny was about to see something unusual. In 1987, the U.S. Mint accidentally created some very rare mistakes, and these were far from ordinary. You see, during the minting process, some 1987 pennies were struck with a huge error that makes them immensely valuable. The most notable error is a misalignment in the die. What does that mean, you ask? Let me break it down. During the minting process, a metal die strikes a blank copper-plated zinc disc, creating the design you see on the coin. A small misalignment in this process can cause parts of the coin's design to be incorrectly placed, smudged, or partially missing. This is known as a die error. And in the case of the 1987 penny, some of the coins came out with an off-center strike. Take a look at this example. The design here is not properly aligned, making the coin appear as though it's off-center, and that's what makes these errors so valuable. But wait, there's more! Some of these pennies have also been found with double strikes, which means that the penny was struck twice, creating a more prominent and unusual error. These varieties are among the rarest and most coveted by collectors. Now you're probably wondering, how in the world could this tiny mistake lead to such a crazy amount of money? Well, here's where things get even more interesting. The rarity of these off-center, double-struck, and other misaligned 1987 pennies has made them highly sought after by collectors around the globe. In fact, in recent years, a specific 1987 off-center penny sold for a whopping $137 million at auction. Yes, you heard that correctly. And it wasn't just a fluke. Collectors have been on the lookout for these rare errors, and the bidding wars can reach insane amounts when they hit the market. Why such a high price tag for something as simple as a penny? It all comes down to rarity, demand, and the value collectors place on these mistakes. A 1987 penny that was misstruck with an off-center design, in excellent condition, can fetch extraordinary prices. The $137 million penny was sold to a private collector who specializes in U.S. minting errors. and that price shattered previous records for 1-cent coins. But this isn't just about one-off mistakes. Coin collecting, or numismatics, is a world all its own. There are thousands of rare coins out there, from ancient Roman coins to modern-day eras, and collectors can spend fortunes to complete their collections. In fact, some of the most famous coins in the world, like the 1933 Double Eagle or the 1913 Liberty Head nickel, have sold for millions of dollars. Coin collecting is about more than just owning a piece of history. It's about owning a piece of something that's unique, something that holds value not only in its materials but also in its story. And the 1987 1-cent error is a prime example of how a small mistake can turn an ordinary penny into something extraordinary. So, what can we take away from this fascinating story? Well, next time you find a 1987 penny in your change, take a moment to inspect it closely. You might just have a hidden treasure on your hands. Remember, it's not about the face value of a coin, it's about rarity, history, and sometimes, a little bit of luck. The 1987 1-cent coin, with its incredible $137 million price tag, is proof of how fascinating the world of coin collecting can be. Until next time, keep your eyes peeled for those hidden gems, and who knows? Maybe the next coin you find could be worth more than you ever imagined. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and click that bell icon for more exciting stories like this one. Next, the 1-cent coin. A humble piece of US currency that many of us barely even notice. But did you know that one particular penny from 1996 could be worth, well, let's just say a lot more than a single cent? That's right, the 1996 1-cent coin, an item you might throw into a jar or discard without thinking twice, has an incredibly rare and valuable counterpart that could be worth a staggering $26 million. To understand why this 1996 penny is so valuable, we need to first dive into the history of US coins and how the design of the penny evolved over time. Let's go back to the late 1800s. The penny, also known as the 1-cent coin, was first issued by the US Mint in 1793. It has gone through various changes over the years, from the iconic Indian head design in the late 19th century to the Lincoln Memorial design that first debuted in 1959. The 1996 penny, in particular, was a standard coin in circulation, with Abraham Lincoln's portrait on the obverse and the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse. It wasn't a rare or special coin by any means. In fact, it was mass-produced that year, as the US Mint typically churns out billions of pennies each year. But here's where things get interesting. Although the 1996 penny wasn't a rarity at the time, a handful of these coins have made headlines because of one very peculiar issue, a striking error that makes certain 1996 pennies worth millions of dollars. The key to this mystery? A special penny that was supposed to be minted with the D mint mark for Denver, but instead, it was struck without any mint mark at all, or with the wrong mint mark. How could this happen? Well, in a coin production facility, a mint mark is added to identify where the coin was made, either Philadelphia P, Denver D, or San Francisco S. But when a die that was supposed to add the D mint mark malfunctioned, it led to some coins being made with no mint mark at all, and that's what collectors are after today. So, let's talk about what these error coins look like. The 1996 penny with no mint mark is incredibly rare and sought after because of that minting error. While the regular pennies from that year, minted with the D mint mark, are worth, well, just 1 cent, the no mint mark 1996 penny has been sold for astronomical amounts at auctions, sometimes fetching prices as high as $26 million. You might be wondering, how could a penny, especially one that's nearly 30 years old, be worth that much? Well, the answer lies in the rarity and the demand from serious collectors and investors who are always on the lookout for unique and valuable coins. The 1996 penny with no mint mark is one of the most famous coin errors in recent history. When an error like this occurs, it adds a significant amount of value to the coin. In the case of the 1996 penny, it's so rare that only a few are believed to exist, and that rarity drives the price through the roof. But the 1996 penny isn't the only rare coin with a mistake that has captured the attention of numismatists. In fact, Errors in coin production often make a coin much more valuable than a standard version. Throughout history, there have been numerous coin errors that have gained a cult following and skyrocketed in value. One famous example is the 1943 copper penny, which was accidentally struck in copper instead of steel during World War II. Today, some of those pennies are worth hundreds of thousands of dollars. Similarly, the 1955 double-die penny, with a doubled image of Abraham Lincoln on the obverse, is another example of a coin error that can be worth over $100,000. So, when it comes to the 1996 numismatic penny, its value lies not only in its rarity but in its perfect storm of factors: a minting error, historical significance, and strong demand from collectors. Now you may be wondering, could you have one of these rare 1996 pennies hiding in your own pocket change or coin jar? Well, let's go over a few tips on how to tell if your penny might be worth millions. First, check the mint mark. The 1996 penny with no mint mark is key. If there's no D under the date, it's a good sign that it might be the error coin. Examine the condition. Like any rare collectible, the condition of the coin matters. If your 1996 penny is in pristine condition, it could be worth more. Finally, get it authenticated. If you think you have a valuable coin, it's always a good idea to take it to a professional coin dealer or have it graded by a service like the Numismatic Guarantee Corporation, NGC. As the years go by, the value of rare coins like the 1996 numismatic penny could continue to rise, especially as fewer of these coins remain in circulation. Collectors are always on the lookout for rare items, and the more time that passes, the harder it will be to find these error pennies. If you find one of these rare pennies, you might just be holding a piece of history that could change your life. So, next time you find a penny in your pocket, it might be worth taking a closer look. Who knows? You could be holding onto a coin worth millions of dollars. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed learning about this incredible 1996 penny, don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe, and leave a comment down below if you've ever found any rare coins in your change. Next, have you ever come across a seemingly ordinary penny and wondered, could this be worth big money? Well, in today's video, we're diving deep into the fascinating world of rare coins and uncovering how a single 1998 1-cent coin could be worth a mind-boggling $40 million. Yes, you heard that right, $40 million. But how did a coin that's typically worth just 1 cent become such a valuable treasure? Stick around to find out. Before we get into the juicy details, let's take a look at the history of the 1-cent coin, also known as the penny, and how the 1998 penny became an icon in the world of numismatics. The 1-cent coin, or penny, has been a staple in American currency since 1793. Over the years, it has undergone many changes in design, but it has always held a unique place in the hearts of Americans. From the chain cent and the flying eagle to the famous Lincoln Memorial penny and the shield cent, the design of the penny has evolved to reflect the changing times. However, one design stands out as a major milestone: the 1982 transition from bronze to copper-plated zinc, which is what the majority of pennies are made from today. Now, let's fast forward to 1998, a year that would unknowingly set the stage for an incredible story in the world of rare coin collecting. In 1998, the U.S. Mint produced millions of 1-cent coins with the familiar portrait of Abraham Lincoln on the obverse and the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse. This design had been in place since 1959, and it's still used today, though the reverse was updated in 2010. But what makes the 1998 penny so special? Well, it all starts with an incredibly rare minting error that occurred during production at the Denver Mint, the very mint that produced these coins. Mintmark.in 1998, the U.S. Mint was still using its usual processes for producing billions of pennies each year. But during one of the production runs, something extraordinary happened. A very small number of 1998 pennies were struck with a double die error. This means that the image on the coin, particularly the date and Liberty inscriptions, was doubled, creating an incredibly rare and valuable error. Now, you might be wondering, how can a double die error on a penny make it worth millions? Well, let me explain how this works in the world of coin collecting. In the world of numismatics, errors are highly sought after. Coins with minting flaws like double die errors are rare and can be worth a fortune because they're often one of a kind or limited in number. In the case of the 1998 D double die penny, only a very small percentage of coins that were struck that year feature this error. The doubling effect occurs when the die, the tool used to strike the design onto the coin, is improperly aligned during the minting process. This results in the design being imprinted onto the coin twice, creating a blurred, doubled appearance. The most noticeable areas are often the date and the wording around the rim. Now, here's the million-dollar question. Is this coin really worth $40 million? The short answer is, it could be, but let me explain. Coin values are determined by a combination of rarity, demand, condition, and sometimes sheer luck. A coin like the 1998 D double die penny in perfect condition can sell for tens of thousands of dollars at auction. But when you get a coin that is not just rare but in near perfect mint state, we're talking about something that could potentially fetch an astronomical amount. The $40 million figure comes from rumors and speculations in the numismatic world about an ultra-rare version of the 1998 D penny that was rumored to have been discovered. While no one has officially verified such a sale, it's not beyond the realm of possibility that a coin like this could be sold for a small fortune, especially if it were in mint condition and graded highly by professional grading companies like PCGS or NGC. So, how can you tell if you have a 1998 D double die penny worth big money? Here's a quick guide. Look at the date and Liberty. The most obvious signs of the double die error are on the date and the word Liberty. If you see doubling, especially if it's noticeable to the naked eye, you might have a winner on your hands. Check the mint mark. The D mint mark itself is also a great place to look for double die errors. If it looks blurry or split, that could be an indicator of a rare minting error. Get it professionally graded. If you think you've found one of these valuable pennies, it's essential to get it professionally graded by a company like PCGS or NGC. Proper grading can significantly increase the value of your coin, especially if it's in mint state. So, is your 1998 D penny worth $40 million? While it's highly unlikely, there's always a chance that you could find one of these rare double die pennies in your pocket change or in a jar of old coins. If you do, you might just be holding onto a little piece of history worth thousands of dollars. Or more. As with any rare coin, the key is to keep an eye out, do your research, and get your finds professionally evaluated. The world of numismatics is full of surprises, and who knows? You might just have the next big discovery. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more videos about rare coins, their history, and how you can make a fortune from your pocket change. Until next time, happy hunting! Last. Hey, coin collectors and history enthusiasts! You might be holding onto a small, seemingly insignificant coin right now, but did you know that the 1981 1-cent coin could actually be worth millions? Yes, you heard that right. 1 cent could lead you to a jaw-dropping $183 million, and today, we're diving into the fascinating world of this coin, its value, history, and why it's so coveted in the world of numismatics. If you love learning about rare coins, their fascinating backstories, and how a small piece of currency can turn into a fortune, make sure to hit that subscribe button and give us a like. Now, let's get into the incredible story of the 1981 1-cent coin. First, let's start with the basics. The 1981 1-cent coin, also known as the penny, was minted by the United States Mint in the year 1981. By this point, the U.S. had already been using the penny for centuries, since the Coinage Act of 1792, to be precise. The penny has undergone several design changes, and by 1981, it featured the famous portrait of Abraham Lincoln on the obverse, created by sculptor Victor David Brenner in 1909. On the reverse, we see the image of the Lincoln Memorial, which had been the standard design since 1959. But what's so special about the 1981 penny? At first glance, it may look like just another regular coin. Well, you're partly right. But there's a rare twist that elevates this penny's value, and it's not just because it's from 1981. You see, while most of the 1981 pennies are worth just 1 cent, despite their age, there are a few special varieties and mistakes that set certain coins apart. And those mistakes could mean big money. One of the most valuable 1981 pennies is the one with a rare minting error. Some of these pennies were struck with the wrong kind of planchet, meaning the metal they were stamped with was different from the usual copper. These pennies are made of zinc, and due to the difference in composition, they are worth significantly more than a regular penny. These pennies are often called zinc planchet errors. They were originally intended for use as part of the 1982 penny series, which switched from copper to zinc. If you've got one of these, you're sitting on a rare treasure. But that's not all. Another error to watch out for is the double strike. This happens when a coin is struck twice by the press, resulting in two overlapping impressions of the design on the same coin. It's a mistake, but it's one that collectors prize for its rarity. If you're lucky enough to find a 1981 penny with a double strike, that coin can fetch an incredible price at auction, sometimes into the tens of thousands or more. It's the type of mistake that coin collectors dream about. Now, let's get to the part that's going to blow your mind: the 1981 penny that's valued at $183 million. So, you might be wondering, how does a 1981 penny reach a value like that? The answer is incredibly rare and very specific. There is one particular 1981 penny that's been linked to an extraordinary event. This penny was discovered in 2019 by a collector who noticed a rare combination of errors that no one had ever seen before. This specific coin, dubbed the Super Error penny, has a double strike, a partial blank planchet, and unusual die cracks across its surface, making it a one-of-a-kind specimen. When this penny was graded by the Numismatic Guarantee Corporation, NGC, and certified as genuine, it set the coin world on fire. Experts believe it could fetch up to $183 million at auction due to the rarity of its features and the demand among elite collectors. Can you imagine holding a penny in your hand worth that much? A single cent. Worth millions. This isn't just a lucky find, it's a piece of history that could change someone's life forever. But why does this particular 1981 penny have such a huge value? Well, it all comes down to rarity, demand, and the unique characteristics of the coin. The mistake errors make these coins sought after by collectors who appreciate the stories behind every coin. When something like this is discovered, it becomes a gem in the world of numismatics, a world where even a single penny can be worth millions. Now, before you go rummaging through your coin jar, let me give you a quick tip on how to spot if your 1981 penny might be rare. Look closely for any signs of errors, whether it's a zinc planchet, double strike, or any unusual features. The more distinct the imperfections, the higher the value. Make sure you check with a professional coin grader to get an accurate assessment of your penny. You never know, you might just have a rare find on your hands. Who would have thought that something as small as a penny could be worth millions? If you found this video helpful, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe for more amazing coin stories and tips. And remember, always check your change. You could be sitting on a hidden treasure. Thanks for watching, and see you next time with more fascinating tales from the world of rare coins.